What's up, everybody? Um,
I was trying to fix the
uh,
camera.
we here doing another awesome interview. Real quick, let's give a shout out to the sponsors that help keep this channel going. New sponsor, W. They produce some awesome energy drinks. So instead of like workout drinks or anything, or if your average soda, they actually make some really cool drinks, really nice flavors. Definitely check them out. Links will be down in the description, as well as Fries Critters, guys. Huge supporter of the channel. He shows a lot of support for everybody out there. So make sure to check him out on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and he started a Twitch. So make sure to check him out over there, as well as Zilla Footwear. Zilla Footwear, guys, has some awesome, unique shoes, tons of awesome reptiles, amphibians, a whole bunch of stuff. You want your logo and a personal animal on there, you can actually message them on either their Facebook or their Instagram and let them know that I sent you, and they'll take care of you guys. If you guys want to see what the custom shoes actually look like, check over to Graceful Serpents. I actually hooked him up with a custom pair with his logo and one of his beautiful snakes on there, and it came out perfect. So definitely check it out, guys. But without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce our special guest.
Hello.
Well,
This
go ahead,
is so
let you
crazy
take it
and
away from there.
awkward. I'm Sabrina. I'm with Mother of Geckos. And we're actually only in our second season, so we
Oh wow!
are newer to breeding crested geckos, not keeping reptiles, but yeah, been keeping reptiles for a long time though.
What's up, everybody in the chat? Appreciate you guys. That's actually really cool, though. So what all do you work with? Just the cresties, or do you have any other species that you keep as pets?
Mainly project wise, it's the crusties. Outside of that, we have a few like Phelsuma, and then we think just Phelsuma and crusties right now. Oh, and high end isopods and rare plants.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, I don't have a green thumb, so like I kill every plant I get. I can't keep them alive for some reason. The only one I seem to have luck with is the golden pothos. That's about it. Everything else I kill. I'm terrible with it.
You know what? Everyone starts somewhere. I killed a couple $100 worth of cheap plants before I started to get into the expensive ones.
I want to try to get more into plants because I want to get into like the carnivorous plants, like the pitcher plants, the Venus flytrap, stuff like that. My little brother
Focuses on that stuff.
my little brother Drew at 408 Reptiles, he actually has some really cool carnivorous plants. He had some dewdrops, and
Cool.
yeah, I was
They're
like,
all
dude,
cheap,
those
though.
look cool. Like, what do they do? He's like, watch this, and he put a bug on there, and then it just like curled and ate it. I was like, what? I need it.
You don't picture like a live plant doing something like that.
Yeah, it was really weird. And then like I always like the Venus flytraps. I just can't keep them alive. I don't know why. I can't do it. Maybe I overfeed them. I have no idea. But those things just snatch things up, or I'll leave it open because we live on a farm. So like flies are just a constant. That we also have a dairy not too far behind us, so like flies are everywhere. And so I got those, and I started watching the flies go up there and then just get eaten. And I'm like, yes, that's awesome. It's doing its job.
That's
Yeah, then
awesome.
it dies like a week later, and I'm like, oh,
But I fed you.
yeah. That's my thing. I was like, I fed you. I know I did. I watched it happen. Um, so what would you say your favorite reptile is out of your collection?
That's that's pretty easy one. But I just shipped her out to a breeder friend of mine for a collab next season. But it's gonna be Moonglow for sure.
Nice. So that's pretty cool. I like cresteds. I used to breed Dalmatians way back in the day, and then we got out of cresties. It wasn't really popular back when we were in it. And then once I sold out, I think about a year later, that's when the market just started
Of
booming.
course.
Same with the doomerals. We had doomerals, and I mean, I was breeding doomerals and red tails, and nobody was really interested in those at that time. Like they were selling super cheap, and then after we sold like our 1.3 group of doomerals, I think it was like either that year or the very next year. There, everybody's looking for them. They're like $400
Correct.
or up, and I was like, I was
That's
practically
how
giving
it
these
goes.
things away.
Yep, that's how it goes.
Right. So how did you get into the hobby?
We started. Well, I started keeping reptiles since I was like 14, 13, somewhere around there. My first reptile was a ball python. We had a bumblebee ball python. It was like my dream ball python because I was just obsessed with Transformers and reptiles at
Nice.
the same time. So of course his name had to be Bumblebee. Uh, but as far as cresteds, I've always had like a fascination with cresteds for years, but just without doing research, I had just assumed that they were about just as hard as, a chameleon because I was like, how can something that beautiful be that easy to keep? And then a couple years ago, I started researching into them, and I was like, "Hey, this is going to be the easiest thing to care for I've ever seen reptile wise." And so we got a few as pets at expos, of course. And then, of course, I wanted nothing to do with breeding them. I just wanted cute pets. So I had a wide variety. I had dowels, I had all sorts of different colors and morphs, just as pets. Even had pattern dowels, which now for me is like, mm. But and so my boyfriend decided to jump into the hobby with me, but he decided that his first crested gecko he wanted to be a lily white. So
Nice.
jumped in $1,200 into the pocket out of the wallet or whatever. And then once I saw that lily white in person, I was like, wow, there's no way I could just keep these as pets. And then I started like just digging more into like different morphs and colors and traits. And I was like, I can't not do it. Either I'm gonna have like 50, couple hundred of them as pets, or I can, you know, make it a living or try to, like we all are.
Right. No, for sure. Um, that's actually pretty cool that you got, or your boyfriend involved in getting into reptiles. I think that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, he's just as in depth as I am with cresteds.
So so you said this is your second year.
Yeah, 2023
So
year, second year.
so how many have you been able to like produce any yet?
Yes, I haven't exactly counted up how many we produced in 2022. Uh, I would guess somewhere around 30.
Nice.
Maybe that. I don't think that's including collabs though.
That's still pretty cool though. Um, yeah, and how did you find like how did you incubate them? If you don't mind me asking, because I know everybody does crested geckos and leopard geckos differently.
Right. So our room is very like temperature controlled, whether it be like the AC is set to 72 all the time or 73, I think actually. Yeah, 73. And we also have like a Wi-Fi heater, so that turns on whenever it gets too cool in here too. So everything is kind of like got a backup plan. So our regulated room temperature stays at a good temp to just incubate them in a deli cup or in those little like bead containers, you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Everyone uses them. But yeah, so that's what we've been doing on Hatchright Media.
Nice. Yeah, we do that. We do that with the leopard geckos. We do the same thing as just a hatch right. We use hatch right for a lot of this stuff too, as
Yeah,
the leopard geckos, and then as well as our chameleons. I
I've been
feel it holds
listening to
moisture so much longer than the
like,
average, like perlite or vermiculite.
oh yeah, I don't like those two. I like being able to see when it needs more moisture, and I feel like I can't really see that with the others.
Right. So you did a little bit of trial and error with that, or with the others.
Not really. I've used those types of medias in plants before.
Oh, okay.
So I'm more familiar with it in that sort of matter. But yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, we use perlite for a lot of the colubrids, and then
That's
we
right.
use no we use hatchite for the leopard geckos, and then
For
the chameleons. And then for we use the vermiculite for almost everything else. The ball pythons, the black and white tegus, all that stuff. We use that vermiculite, but their incubations are fair only around like 60 something or 60 days or under or around that 60-day mark. As to where chameleons are 6 to 9 months.
yeah. Tegus are on my list.
Oh, I've got a ton of tegus. You want tegus? I got you. No.
No. Here's the thing: I ain't got space.
Yeah, that's the thing that sucks with those. You got a lot of people showing you some support in the chat. I'm bringing them up on screen so that way you can see them.
Yeah, guys, I can't see it otherwise, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's the only thing that sucks about doing it on your phone. And I noticed that when I do it, I get the whole thing like because I'm hosting it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have it on computer, you get like so much more. You get so much more controls.
Dang, I should
So
have thought that.
what is your favorite species? Like even if it's something that you don't work with.
I've just been like more and more as time goes on, been more fascinated by different types of Phelsuma.
Okay.
I don't want it to be something that I focus on because that's always going to be cresteds. But ideally, if I had the space and it wasn't going to all the crested geckos, I'd probably have like a bunch of different species of day geckos.
That'd be pretty cool. We got day geckos. We got the crimsons. And then the crimson we got crimson. Then we got the Madagascar giants. And then we got some like Madagascar giant blue arrow or something like that. I don't.
What are you talking about? Yeah.
You know, those dudes. Well, we got that group off of some guy. He was just like, "I'm getting out, and do you want these?" I was like, sure." And I thought it was like two, and then he just like dropped them off like a whole tank full of them. I was like, "Oh,
Oh wow."
oh, okay."
What? We dove deep into this one.
Yeah. It was. I was expecting like two, and then there's just like, oh yeah, there's like 8 or a bit more. There's eggs in there too. I was like, wait, what? There's eggs in there? He's like, yeah, just let them hatch out, do the thing. It's like, okay.
Right now, we just have electrics and standings or standing eyes, something like that. And we're working on electric blues.
Nice. Yeah, I'm wondering if that's what these are. I wonder if that's what that group is the electrics, because they're blue, they're really blue, but their contrast red is like really bright on the back. And they said it was like some type of arrow.
I don't think they just have red on them.
I think it was like I don't know. He's like a bluish, and he's got like a really like bright contrast. And then we've got some like golden colored looking ones that don't look like the Madagascars. But those ones came from Florida, so I'm like assuming that they're just like a subspecies. I have no idea. We kind of just keep them, and
that's all that matters.
Yeah, I was like they're kind of cool, and I was like they I don't know, they serve their little cuteness purpose. Is about it for me. And they're more my wife's thing. She got us got us into the geckos.
Hey, I see some familiar names in there. I love seeing all the support from all my followers.
That's awesome. So what would you say your favorite morph is out of the Cresties?
Oh my gosh. That's a lot. To be completely honest, I really don't have a favorite that I can think of. Just because there's a variety. Like I really have started to get into like the red phantom lilies. Those have been really cool. Just like a phantom lily, anything has been really cool. I couldn't say honestly. I know I got a lot of black and white, but I got a lot of black and white everything.
That's awesome. I'm trying to learn more about the genetics. Friends of mine, MG Geckos, Megan and Chris over there in California, they've got a ton of geckos. So I've been like kind of looking at what they've got over there and thinking about getting back into the whole thing. So I thought about getting they had a pair of them for sale, and I was like, maybe,
If I
maybe.
could pick like one that I could just kind of have as a display type animal, it would probably be a frap for sure.
Okay. And now I'm a novice when it comes to that. So what is that?
It's a lily and a cappuccino. I'm not sure if you've kind of gotten into that cappuccino.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a lily and a cappuccino.
I feel
But
like cappuccino and a few different species all look the same. Like they're all that really bright colored, like
yeah,
brown,
brown.
golden colors.
Mhm. They're very
Uh,
pretty.
Hers is anything black and white. Yeah,
No,
there you go. More people throwing it out.
I didn't even have to say it. Anything dark. Man, y'all know me better than I know me.
That's awesome. So what would you say your most anticipated pairing or hatching is this coming season?
Oh. Okay, so I've already had a lot of like really cool, like high potential kids from Khaleesi and Aslan hatch, but I have these two high white, Stark and Omen. Some of the people watching are gonna know that name, but two high white non-lilies. And so the only thing is that Omen has great lineage to be able to produce something high white, but
Hmm.
Stark doesn't have any lineage. He's from Tiki's Geckos, so I'm kind of like playing the Powerball and hoping for some nice high white.
Hoping for the best.
Hmm.
I like it. That's actually pretty cool. I'm gonna have to keep my eye on that. I might have to get something from you.
I've got a list now.
Oh, there you go. So here's one that's interesting. What is your goal as a breeder?
Oh, I feel like I probably have the same goal as everybody else. I'd love to be able to make this like passion and hobby of mine something that I can make a living off of.
Okay. So
24/7 geckos.
that's funny because that was actually my next question was, are you trying to do this as a hobby, or do you to like sustain itself, or are you trying to do this as a full-time business?
So I was actually given a what is it called? I'm just gonna say offer, and I know there's a better word out there, but I was given an offer by my boyfriend. He says, if you're able to make $2,000 to $3,000 a month, you can quit your job. I was like, okay. We did that in
If you
March,
were
so we're
doing this
awesome stuff.
about 3 years or 3 or 4 years ago, yeah, oh, that'd be a thing. But right now with the market, it's just you can do it. But
Yeah,
I noticed I noticed this year it's been like it's been tough all around. Like a lot of people are producing a lot, but to find buyers is like the issue right now is a lot of people don't have the money to want to buy a lot right now.
yeah. They have the one, but not the money. But that's
Yep.
what the hobbies right now. So it's like the same thing in like the fish keeping world and even like art world and stuff like that too. But yeah.
Yeah, and that's one thing I was hearing too. Cheech, what up, bro?
What's the
Bailey's, how's it going, Bailey's? Emily, I see you. Oh wait, Darian and family. What? Does that mean I'm excluded from that? I see how it is, Emily. No, I'm just kidding. I always give her stuff. I always give her crap. But no, that's actually pretty cool. I like that because I do this full time, and so I'm late to the game.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for 18 years, and I never got on social media.
Mm,
And I normally sell to stores. I was selling to breeders that go to expos. So I'm so like behind when it comes to social media. Like I started on I think Facebook maybe 2 years ago, Instagram like a year ago, and then I just
it's
started
rough
this.
though.
I didn't start really pushing this till about February-ish. I started it in November, and then I got hit by a pig in December. And oh yeah, you missed all that. I got attacked by a pig. Oh yeah, somebody's random pig took out my leg, like completely hollowed out my calf. It freaking sucked. On my birthday, no less. On my birthday.
Oh my god! You
So
so
on the
much
ninth,
luck over there.
yeah, the 19th, it was just somebody else's pig. It was just some random pig. Wasn't even mine. But on the 19th will mark 1 year of me getting hit by that pig. And
Tell though.
it was nuts. No, I totally ate somebody's pet though. Like I don't even care. That thing messed up my leg. He actually threw his tusk right into the my left leg and completely hollowed out my leg or my calf.
That's just.
It was nuts. I think I got 30 something stitches and 4 sutures. To put it was nuts. Now I've got like a gnarly scar. It's still not completely healed either. Almost a year later, because on the 19th, which is my birthday, that's when it'll be a full year of me getting hit, and that thing messed me out. Zombie pig. Yeah. Well, so that thing went after it attacked me. So we're in Arizona, so we kind of it's a gun state. I was about to leave for my birthday, and I normally carry, and that thing. If I didn't have my gun, I think that thing would have messed me up way more because it kept coming at me. Like even though I'd shot it, it went down. It kept coming for me. I think that the thing was like a freaking Undertaker or something. Like it had a vendetta with my leg. That's all I gotta say. That thing was nuts.
Smell bacon on you or something.
Something. No, I think what it was. So I do have a pig. I have a potbelly female, and I think she was in heat. I think she may have been in heat, and then that just lured him in. And I was like, no. I would have ate that pig too. I know, right? As many pigs getting ready to go into labor, 8 tonight or tomorrow. Nice, Morbid. He's got them mini pot bellies. He when he got those, he sent me a little video of them running around in his yard, and I was like, "You suck," because he was like, "They bring back some memories."
I had what was sold to me as a mini potbelly, and then in her first year and a half, she was already like 60 pounds, and I was like, "Are you sure?"
See, I don't believe so. There's a lot of people that say they have mini pot bellies, and I never believe it because I don't think I've seen a full-grown adult mini that stayed small.
Not even teacups.
Yeah, that's my thing. Like I don't think I've ever seen a full-grown pot belly that's supposed to be a mini be more than or be bigger than this. This is supposed to be like their average size.
Yeah.
And that I know my sister-in-law got one. Still lives in the backyard. She left it here. She got one, and it was supposed to be a mini, and this thing is bigger than my normal pot belly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no.
I don't know about that.
It's funny because I raised mine inside for a little bit, and she was around the dogs. Now she barks like a dog. It's funny.
Oh my god!
So if you go in the backyard and she doesn't know you, she starts like making barking sounds at you. It sounds funny. She cracks me up that big. And so I put her by the tortoises, so that way, like, if anybody goes to like mess with my tortoises, they like have a freaking they have a guard pig coming at them. And she's crazy too. Like if she wants your attention, she'll nip at you. Like she'll nip you and everything. She loves chasing me around to do that to me. She's freaking nuts, that pig. I thought you were going to say pig or picture. Mini giant, probably. Yeah, for real. That was that's my thing. It's mini giant. Like it's mini compared to a butcher hog. I mean, we used to raise butcher hogs, and those things. Now looking back at it, I totally would have been so scared if I got hit with my or by the pig that I got hit by, which was like a potbelly cross with a butcher pig. Um, if I'd have got hit by that, I can only imagine how like that little bit of fear I would have had towards the bigger pigs. Because we had a pig that was like 600-700 pounds. He's a big boar.
Jesus.
Oh
That's like
yeah, he was
a
huge. Yeah, he was huge. Like he's so I'm 6'1", and him standing up was like to my hip. Like he was a what they call a blue bud. So he was a Yorkshire Hampshire pig. And that dude was his name was Ralph from Wreck-It Ralph. And that dude was huge. And he was just a gentle giant, unless you were one of his kids trying to eat his food. Then he was just flinging babies over the fence. That dude was nuts. He used to crack me up though. So I go in the backyard and I'm feeding everybody. I start walking away and then I just see piglets fly and I'm like, hey, look, I saw a pig fly. I feel like there's a few things I need to call my dad about. He owes me.
Right.
They can get up to 100 pounds or a little bit over. If you don't
Mhm.
feed them right, they have
Yep,
a strict
that's good.
diet. Yeah, yeah, that's one thing I've heard too. Is like you're supposed to get like or the mini ones supposed to have like a certain like
Yeah.
protein diet, but then they just want to eat and eat and eat. But that's a typical pig. So if you had the chance, all permits, experience needed, space, the whole 9 yards. What if you could have one or a pair of any species? What would you get and why?
To be honest, it wouldn't even be reptiles.
Oh, okay.
Stingrays.
A what?
I would want stingrays.
Okay.
You have to have a permit here in Texas to have them. Except for, I believe, like the brown cow or brown nose, something like that. Those
Now,
you can eat, but those are also freshwater. So
I was about to say, are you so? I know there's two different types. There's the freshwater stingrays and the saltwater stingrays. Do you have to have a permit for both or either?
I'm pretty sure it's both fresh and salt. The only exception that I know of is the common stingray, but that could have changed within the years of.
Right. Now we were looking into that because in Arizona we can't have freshwater stingrays due to a lot of the waterways and stuff.
Yep.
But we're landlocked, so we can have saltwater. So I want to get saltwater stingrays, but I don't know how to take care of saltwater. So that's the only thing holding me back is I need to really dive deep into the whole saltwater thing before I get into it.
It's a lot of trial and error, a lot of money wasted until you get it right.
That's what I've been told, and I was told like the bigger the better. Like it's harder to contain a smaller ecosystem as it is to contain a
Small.
200-gallon tank.
Yeah.
So that's something I want to get into. We do have ponds and stuff like so we have like I'm good with freshwater filtration and everything like that. You know we have tanks and we have a lot of pond turtles. So I have to make sure we have a good filtration, especially for the mata turtles. Their requirements are very, I don't want to say delicate, but if you want them to breathe, they got to be like on point.
Yeah, there's not a lot of people that have those that I've seen.
Mata.
Mm-mm. That's pretty
I
cool.
know. I think I'm only one of 4 people in Arizona that have them, let alone have or breed them.
Wow.
So I got them just to get them. Like I was like, I have a huge pond. I
That's
think
so
these things
awesome.
are cool. Well, so like my goal was never really to try to breed them. Like I was like, if it happens, it happens. But I always was told that like incubation's super hard. Keeping them even though you have a pair, the chances of them actually breeding is slim to none.
Right.
And so I was like, oh well, we'll just see what happens. I mean, it's the largest turtle that we can legally own in Arizona because we can't have snapping turtles. We can't have the alligator snappers or the other one. So the common snapper. So we the next biggest thing is the matamatas. So I love the matamatas. It always looks like they have a giant smile on their face.
They have such funny looking faces.
Yeah. I love it. Every time I pull them out of the water, they always like always stretch out big, and then they have that
They're
little
like
flappy
strapped up.
things. Yeah, I love it because like they have like the little flappy things on their face, so like I always just sit there and like play with it. Um, like
That's
my
good
male,
too.
he'll come up to me if
For
I
food.
like in the water. He'll come up to the water's edge and he'll let me rub his chin and like touch his head. If I try to do that to the female, she'll try to eat my hand. Like she's one of those like food driven. And then I think is the craziest is I've seen them breed, and it's freaking hilarious because the male is smaller than the female, and he jumps on her back and he holds onto her shell, and then it looks like he's going on a roller coaster ride because she's running through the water like we're trying to get him off, and he's just holding on for dear life. So,
She's super.
yeah, she's like, I don't want none. It looks like it's funny because like she looks like when she goes over because there's like logs and stuff under there or in the water. And when she goes over them, it looks like she's kind of like pulling a bronking or like a bronco, like trying to buck him off. And it always cracks me up because then like you see him just like wee. It always cracks me up watching those dudes go. But we went out. It was earlier this year, and like I've seen them breed, and I collected some eggs. I think like 2 years ago, and I couldn't get them to hatch. And then I went out there a few months ago, and sure enough, I thought I was hallucinating. I was like,
No.
okay, that
Yeah.
what is that in the water? And I'm looking, and there's a little baby, and I was
All
like,
by itself?
oh yeah, it was just one, and I was looking at him, and I was like,
Um,
wait a minute. Wait a minute. That is a freaking. I just dived into there. I'm so glad my phone's waterproof because I didn't even care. I just dove in. And because I didn't want one of the other turtles to eat them.
right?
And because we've got some red ear sliders in there. We've got some albino red ears. And then we've got some like or the red belly side necks, bunch of like or the Florida cooters, stuff like that.
Nice.
Just random turtles. And so I dove in and I grabbed him. And while I was in there, I then looked to my right, and then I see another one swimming away, trying to like dive down. So I like chased him, grabbed him, and I come out all soaking wet. I had two of them, and I was all excited. And we found two more, but they just like they didn't look like they were doing well. And so I was like, no, like you hatched, you have to do well. Those two didn't make it,
Dang.
and the other two did really well though. I ended up selling them to a friend of mine because he wanted to get into it, and so I was like, you know what, maybe they'll produce again. This will be awesome, but like I don't have like the space to house like the little babies right now. I ain't trying to grow them up because if I put them back in the pond,
They're
I
gonna
don't
be.
want somebody else to eat them.
Yeah, no kidding.
Ken for sure used to sell matas here in Vegas. Nice. Fly rivers are awesome too. Fly rivers are cool. I think those are those freshwater or are those saltwater?
Freshwater.
They are freshwater.
They
See,
can be brackish though.
okay. I've seen a few people have those.
They're
I
pretty
seen,
turtles.
I saw a few people have those. I thought it was funny. A buddy of mine had one for a short time, and I remember he was trying to teach it to eat off his hand. Yeah, no, it just kept biting his fingers. I thought it was
What?
hilarious.
All of the ones I had met are so sweet.
The one that he had was food driven. Also, then again, I think it didn't like him, so I was like, you know what? I think maybe you, dude, because I stuck my hand in there. It didn't try to bite me. I was like, I think it's just you, Mike. I was like, I think it's you. I think you should just give it to me. He started laughing.
That's one way to do it.
Right? I was like, hey, man, I don't like you. You got to give it to me. I had a lot of them. Nice.
Yeah, we had 3, maybe 4 at the fish store I used to work at.
hmm
2 adults and 1 baby.
Yeah, I want to. I would like to get a fly river. I think that'd be pretty cool to have, but I need to make more space because I'm already up to 2 reptile rooms and a lot of animals outside.
Yeah.
I'd have to expand again.
At the rate I'm at, I don't really have space for pets. So just
See,
private.
we try to breed like a little of everything. So if I want to work with one of them, I have to at least get a pair or like a trio, so that way I can try to breed them. And that's how I justified the mangrove monitors. And I didn't know that it was as hard as it was to breed those until I got my mentor, who hooked us up with our first female, and that was my friend Kai Pan, out there in California, and those are really hard to breed, because the female beats up the male really bad,
Shit.
and if the male doesn't just take it, if he decides that female's gonna be dead, then you got like 0.5 seconds to rip that female out of that cage, or that male's done.
The sea
And
flush down the toilet.
that's the thing that sucks. So like it took a lot of trial and error. I had a really laid back male. Now he's older, so I can't breed him. I ended up selling him and that female to another buddy of mine, and he has actually one of our captive bred offspring. And I guess we were only one of 10 people in the U.S. to be able to successfully reproduce those in captivity, because most of the ones that you see are actually wild caught import.
Nice. That's
So
that's nice.
I think it's pretty cool. I want to try to do something different. I want to get import babies and see if I can raise them up together as like a group.
Yeah.
And see if maybe that'll like help balance out the aggression towards each other, instead of just introducing two like wild caught, adults.
You won't know unless you try.
That's my assumption on it. I talked to a couple other breeders that have successfully bred them, and they thought that would be a pretty good idea to try. So we'll see what happens with that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I have so many questions and I don't know what to ask. Because you've answered like 3 of them in like one thing, and I remember so like it was hard to like try to remember where I'm at, what you haven't already answered.
Perfect then.
Oh, here you go. So since you got your boyfriend in on this, I can ask you some of these questions. So what is your limit on buying reptiles, like price wise, compared to his limit?
He's over here laughing. To be reasonable, so if I could afford it, I think my cap would be like 10K.
Damn.
If I could afford it, I think that
there you go.
There's some morphs out there that are worth the 10K. I think it would be nicer if it was like somewhere around like 5 or 7, but
damn,
I'm willing to spend 10K on something I really wanted.
What's a limit?
Right.
I asked my wife that question. She's all, you get like a couple $100. Me, on the other hand, I get like 2,000. She goes, how much is a black dragon? I was like, I don't know, around 2,000. She's all, I get that.
A lot. See, we didn't start this too long ago, and a couple months ago we added up what we have spent in geckos, and it was 42,000.
Damn. There you go. Quality in, quality out. I like it.
I'm hoping.
I like it. Yeah, most so doing that, have you guys made a profit or a return at least?
Well,
or at least put like a dent?
Sort of. So they usually say that most businesses don't, you don't start getting your return until like your second year, stuff like that.
Oh wow, second.
It's really true. For most cases. But we've at least a little less than half.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, normally I tell everybody when you're getting into the reptiles, I don't really say you're not going to see your return until you're about 5 years in. But I normally because then again, I'm more, whatever I get from the reptiles, I try to put back.
No, yeah, same. That's the problem.
So like I try to put that back into like either better equipment, better genetics, or something along that aspect.
I'm rotating out my lower end to get higher end.
There you go.
That was my whole first year. I was just rotating out all the lower end stuff. Yeah, a little bit, a little bit. That's my boyfriend's.
Oh, there you go. Right on. So who buys the most reptiles out of you two?
Oh, for sure me. But he also likes
You
to
own
joke
that quick.
around and he likes to joke around and say that he's the angel investor. But yeah.
So then, I feel like this question would be better for him. So, how do you feel when a random reptile just appears?
He goes, they don't just appear; they come in groups.
It's like Pokemon; they just pop up. No.
Right? Yeah, they kind of do. But so I did a thing.
It's how I normally do it because I do a lot of wholesale. And it's I remember I told my wife like, hey, I gotta go pick something up from the FedEx hub. She's like, oh yeah. She's like, wait, what did you get? I was like, oh, nothing, just a couple things.
Something else.
Yeah. Well, she knew that she messed up when I got out of the car, and before I went in there, I grabbed one of the little dollies, and she was like, she gets out of the car, she's like, why are you grabbing a dolly? I was like, nothing. And so I go in there, and I come out with 5 30 by 16 by 10 boxes.
What's that, over 100 reptiles?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I had bought. I'm looking at. Okay, so I had bought 156 Pac-Man frogs of various morphs. Because I was adding new genetics, and then I also wanted to add like outbreed some of my bloodlines that I've been working with. So I have almost every genetic of Pac-Man frog. I'm just missing the mutant gene. That's something that I want to get next year. I really want to get some mutant genes in and try working that into some of our projects. It doesn't help that they named one Pikachu morph, so it doesn't help that I'm into Pokemon and I like Pac-Man. So like now I tell everybody that Pac-Man frogs and like Pokemon, you got to catch them all. Mitzi, what up? Great live, y'all. Gotta go. Thank you. Sorry. Later, brother. Appreciate you. I swear yeah, I know, right? That's what I say. I swear it's a great deal. Dang, gotta catch them all. But yeah, so I got all those, and then we ended up just getting a ton of stuff in. I got some ball pythons. I think I picked up like 4 monitors, and then a ton of northern blue tongues. So we got a whole bunch of stuff in, and my wife was. I remember I put them all in the car, and woo, to the face.
I was not prepared.
What's that one?
This is my first ever production. Whoop, where's the camera? There's the camera.
Yeah, you always got to go like opposite way with YouTube. It's weird.
Wow, that's really weird. Can you get on a clear angle?
That is pretty though. That is pretty cool. It is really like contrast.
I hope it's in the camera.
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah, he's going to look just like his mama.
So what morph is that?
He's a Harlequin. He's got some really cool looking frosting coming in too, which I'm really excited about.
That is really pretty.
Football? Something? Already getting his cojones. He's only 10 grams.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, at least you won't have to pour sex him. He already popping out, huh?
Right?
I always thought it was funny. I used to get messages from people that are like just getting into crested geckos, and they'd be like, "Hey, do you know if this is a male or female?" I'm like, well, how big is it? And they're like, "Oh, it's a really big. It's really big. It's about that size, or like that size, or like an adult, and it's like taking up a couple fingers." And I'm like, "You should be able to tell." They're like, "Is it the big bumps that are on my finger right now?" It's like, "It's the big bumps on your finger right now."
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I have some boys that are just crazy boys.
I had one that latched onto my finger and literally tried to hump my hand.
Yeah, we had our male in with our female. We had Zoran in with Persephone recently, and he was cuddling with her, and he saw me open the door, and he just immediately locks eyes, and he just starts crawling little by little. Oh, Gecko underneath. And then suddenly you just see shooting bolts, and I'm like, okay, close the door. And then he like grabbed onto my fingernail, and it didn't hurt or anything, obviously, but it was a hard enough bite to where he left like an indent, like a scratch in my nail.
Oh, mine hurt because it was the soft spot, the webbing. He bit right in the webbing and then just started going to town on my friggin' on my finger, and I'm like, dude, what? Like it was like the most awkward pain and awkward bite I've ever had.
You know
Because
what?
not only was he biting,
Those are
but
my
he was humping
favorite.
my hand.
Trying to figure out how to use this.
He's really pretty. Yeah, I'll show you out so everybody can see him. I love his colors. That is really pretty.
Trying to figure this out. I just
Yeah,
wish
yeah, you can see him. You can see the gold blushing coming through the sides too, and to the camera.
But yeah, he's pretty cool. He's got a big head on him, just like his daddy.
Nice. Yeah, seeing geckos, it makes me just want to get back into them. I miss having mine. They were always pretty cool. One species I'll never get back into is tokay geckos.
Oh yeah, no, thank you.
No. I think I've got so many scars on my fingers from tokays. It's like unreal. I swear every time that I opened that cage, I bled. It just.
I'll admire from a distance.
Yep. So if you had any chance or had any chance to add any species or morph of any species, what would you add and why?
No. He says Sable. I think I still say Fraps. Still Frappuccinos for me.
There you go. We got any monitored lizards in here? Yep, that's me. I keep monitors. I like mine are outside though. Mine are too big to keep inside.
There's such thing as a lavender tegu, right?
I've heard of a lavender tegu. I heard it's in black and white. It's either black and white tegus or blue. I don't think there's a lavender red.
Oh,
I might be wrong.
I think I'm thinking of the albinos. It's got like a really cool, like purplish, pink tone to it, almost like a.
I think you're thinking anery. There is red anery. I actually have a really pink tegu. He is a red, black and white cross, and he's 66% het silver flame. So he's a hybrid.
Wow.
And he's 66% het silver flame anery. And he's dark red when he's in shed, but after he sheds out, he's like super pink.
Yeah, see, I want one.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I've actually got a couple pink babies. So I have high white red babies. And because of them being high white, instead of being like a dark red, their dad is like a really nice pinkish red, and then mom is a pinkish red with really high white contrast. So between both of them, these guys got like a bluish head with because mom had like a weird bluish head, and it passed on to the kids for some reason. And then well, not for some reason, it's something I need to prove out more, see why she has that and where that came from. There is some our time black and white have pink albino bellies. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm missing a couple comments. Things start flying quick. My tokay is friendly. Lucky. Dude, every time I open my cage, boom, lash onto my finger. We have Snowmaker and blue albino tegu. Nice. I had a blue het albino female. And I ended up selling her. I was actually going to breed her to the red and black and white and produce tribrids that would have been het for silver flame anery and het for albino. But I just never got it. I got around to doing it.
That'd be awesome, though.
Yeah, my goal is I'm actually going to breed the high white red male to the one of my high white black and white fire belly female tegus in spring and see how that goes. I think that would be pretty cool. You don't have got any smaller monitors inside? No, not inside. I'm supposed to be picking up some red Ackies from JTK Reptiles.
Those are
Yeah, I like the red Ackies. They're pretty cool. I'm supposed to be picking those up at Pomona in California.
Man, go to that one. We have an expo tomorrow.
Oh, are you?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah. What expo you guys got tomorrow?
It's not a very popular one because I think their first first show here in Texas was just last year. But it's called the Reptilian.
That sounds awesome.
Houston area.
Huh. Yeah, I'd have to look into that. Are you guys gonna make it out for Pomona?
We're probably not gonna be traveling for a little while right now.
Makes sense. We're gonna try to go to Pomona. One of our sponsors, actually, Zilla Footwear, donated a set of shoes, any custom shoe for the US Arc auction for Pomona.
That's awesome. Yeah. I think NAR and Tinley are a must for this coming year. But yeah.
Avery Wildlife. I get free tickets to every reptile super show because my cousin is the owner and we partner at US Arc. Awesome, dude.
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool, bro. I mean, you should hook me up. No.
I'll do a gecko.
Right? I would say if you go to Pomona, I'll see you there for sure. But what up, AA Ron? Always got to shout out to homie AA Ron. I know his name's Aaron, but I always like messing with him from that. Everybody thought I was crazy that I couldn't read for a while. Nobody ever got the inside joke of the Key and Peely on TV. He's like, I messed up, AA Ron. So now that's what I do to him. It started trending now. So how do you feel about the legislations about banning reptiles in different states?
It's one of those things where I feel like to an extent certain things or certain species could be necessary. But that's not necessarily due to like the species itself, more so like how I guess people in that general area care for them. And it's just the unfortunate truth. You're not about to shit on my hand.
No, I agree with that, especially with one thing where I had a topic with on Ball Python Love's channel with Derek's Reptiles is they were talking about should we have some type of ban or some type of permit for large constrictors.
And the thing is that like a lot of us that are trying to prevent these bans from happening, these bans aren't being set in place for people who are actually taking care of the animals. It's because of the people that don't. And it's one of those things where like it's always going to happen and it sucks, but can't change certain people, unfortunately.
See, and that's the one thing that sucks, and one thing I agree with Earl from Lone Star is It's those type of or keepers or those type of people that hurt us in the long run. People trying to make a living or just trying to keep our animals.
Yeah.
They make it harder on us. And at the end of the day, they're still going to do what they're going to do, and it just puts it more of a strain on the keeper trying to keep everything on the up and up.
And it's USARK does a lot of work trying to help us to prevent those certain things, but it's kind of similar to where so if you go to a restaurant or something and you have a bad experience, you don't like the food, you had bad customer service, all this stuff, most people that are leaving reviews are going to leave a review if they had a bad experience. You don't think to leave a review whenever you have a good experience. Same thing goes with
Right.
the news. The news is only going to report all the bad, not all the good. So it only gets worse of a rep out there because social media loves drama. Oh.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with that 100%. I mean, we proved that. So for those that are newer to our channel, I actually use a caption to prove a point on some of our YouTube shorts, and so I put is I put two videos of you. Look, they're the same two videos posted the same time and just a day apart.
Oh, that's
And I put haters will say this is fake. And the next one I just put look at this beautiful snake. And the one that says the haters will say it's fake reached like 8,000 views in the first hour, as to where the other one total got I think like 200 views.
yeah.
So I mean, just that the way things are worded, it's not even just like the way people look at things, but like I think that's how certain algorithms get pushed, is the drama type thing. Some of those key words.
Yeah.
So here's a funny one for you. Since your boyfriend's right there, how many followers do you need to say you're too famous? So you got to make him take out the trash.
He says 0.
No, wait. Now, does he have an Instagram page?
No.
Well, now he's got to, so that way he can get one and try to do the same thing I do. No. I got your back, bro. Oh no, right? My wife's all, stop giving people ideas. You're still taking the trash out. So let's see. If you had any advice for someone wanting to get into breeding, what would your advice be to them?
The biggest thing I want to say is just research, research, research. Until you feel like you could do this without having to ask anybody questions, at first at least, a lot of research. And then especially because of the high inflation and the high capacity of crested geckos that there are on the market in general, this isn't really a hobby to be doing anything like pet quality. It's just the truth. Because I can see wanting to do it for fun, and I can see wanting to do it just to try it out, to experience it and all that. But it's not fair to the animals. It's not fair to just keep producing and like they just sit, and then it ends up being that you're stuck with these animals, you don't want them anymore, you can't sell them, so they end up going to people that are newer and maybe haven't done enough research, and then it just spirals. Because beginner people usually want cheap geckos, and that just so happens to be the lesser quality ones. It's just make sure you're certain that this is what you want to do before you just put two pretty geckos together, you know? But yeah.
No, I agree. No,
And
I agree. That's
because everybody is always going to be willing to help.
no, for sure. For anybody that's in the comments, you know, some of the newer people popping in, you know, if you ever have questions about a certain species, if you're thinking about getting into certain species, always reach out to a breeder or somebody else that keeps them if you have any questions. You know, especially if you can't find what you're looking for answer wise online, always reach out to a breeder before you just dive into it and kind of wing it. Because with certain species that could equal death.
Yeah. And when you research a lot, you become more picky about what you want. And so it's a better devotion towards what you're wanting to do too. If that makes sense.
No, it makes great sense. I like that answer. You know, and I like asking that question. Then I ask that question to every breeder that comes on, because when they give that answer, I feel most times it's as if they were talking, like giving advice to their past self, trying to get in, like just about to get into this as a breeding project.
That's really what I was doing. If I
So that's
differently.
and that's why I love asking that question. Is, you know, it's a heartfelt answer. Like that's something that you take to heart, and you know, I hope somebody that's wanting to get in from just the hobby to into the aspect of breeding, they take that to heart, you know. Because I know quite a few people, I've seen them, I even see them in the chat, that, you know, are just keepers that want to get into breeding. And so I like asking that question to other big breeders and just breeders in general. So that way they can kind of see what, like the ups and downs with breeding and everything that, you know, they should really look into before fully diving into this.
My favorite thing is whenever people like send me pictures of like a male and female, and they're like, "What do you think of this pair?" And I'm like, "Okay, well, here's my honest opinion. Like, this is what you're gonna get out of it. Is this what you're trying to accomplish from this pair?" That's black.
No, I agree. I mean, and you see that a lot lately. That actually brings me to another question that I kind of skipped over because I didn't know if I should ask or not. But how do you feel about like all the normals or like single genes really flooding the market?
It sucks, but I feel like everyone at some point decides to focus on one particular thing. So there's breeders out there that strictly focus on empty bags, or breeders out there that strictly focus on, I don't know, lily whites or phantom, stuff like that. And so I don't know. I don't know.
Do you feel that it hurts the hobby or hurts the market value for some of the like morphs wise?
Yes and no, because a lot of the newer people that are getting into this, a lot of them don't know about morph market. So when it comes to like the lower end animals that are being listed on morph market, there's, I believe, this is just me assuming, without any data or anything, I feel like there's a higher volume of actual breeders, or as opposed to hobbyists on morph market, if that makes sense. So the higher end stuff is gonna sell, and then of course the lower end stuff is gonna sit for a while. But
No, for sure, and I can tell you this as somebody that actually like looks at morph market on a daily. I think I have a problem.
yeah.
I do agree that there is actually more breeders on there than actual hobbyists, and I think the reason is to be able to sell on there, you have to have, meet certain criteria, pay for a whole thing and everything like that. So the average person isn't going to be like, hey, I'm doing this as a hobby. Why pay for this when I can just sell on throw something out there like Craigslist,
Right.
or something like that,
Not all of the low end geckos on there are because someone is mass producing, pet quality geckos. It could be that, these are Petco PetSmart geckos that somebody felt bad for, or somebody's kid decided to not, take care of anymore, or, kind of how we all start is we all get, things that we just think are pretty instead of focusing on one thing. So it can be a lot.
Sorry, my wife asked me how to turn the volume down on the PS4. I was like, no, you have to use headphones on that. It does not work that way. My son wants to watch TV on the PS4. He's trying to take over. He gets away with it though. He's going through a lot right now, so he gets to get away with it for now.
Has something to entertain himself with, though.
Oh yeah. As long as he doesn't try to play any of my games and mess up my KG. No, I'm just kidding. Morph Market wasn't a thing when I joined the hobby. Damn. How old is Morph Market? Does anybody actually know?
That's a good question. Somebody's got to Google that.
I don't know how old Morph Market actually is. I know there's a few new apps that are coming out. I was actually a beta tester for a couple of them. And they're just like Morph Market. They're just like Morph Market, but they actually created an app. And what they tried doing is it's like Morph Market and Instagram combined for just reptiles. So it's weird. I'm waiting for them to fully finish the beta test before they actually start promoting it, and then I'll kind of throw it out there. But right now it looks alright. It looks promising. It's also still really weird. I don't think it'll take off like Instagram did, but I mean, then again, it might.
For a year.
So where do you see your collection 5 years down the road?
I would hope I would have more than just black and white. I'm trying. We got some browns recently, and we're working with a few people. Some collabs next season for some yellows, some high white tricolors that are yellow. So I don't know. I just have a bigger passion for anything black and white, for the crested geckos and all that. But I want to branch out. That way, my goal with branching out to different geckos and different morphs and stuff like that is so that hopefully the people out there that are wanting to get a gecko from me could still potentially be able to afford it, if that makes sense. Because when I have so many higher end projects, it's probably kind of disappointing that there's some people out there that think that they won't ever be able to afford something. And so I wanted to work on some lower end projects, or some middle end projects, I mean, so that there would be more availability for people with lower budget, but still quality. And that's something that I really admire that Cryptiles does, is the fact that he has really nice quality, pretty high quality geckos for extremely reasonable and cheaper prices. So that's my goal.
Right on. I like that. So, do you ever see a storefront in your future, or just a facility full of geckos?
Just a facility. And I hope to never have a building devoted to them, because it gives me a lot of paranoid feelings, not having my geckos in the same house.
Mm-hmm. See, that's my thing, is we wanted to get a facility and make big enclosures inside the facility and everything. But I was like, I don't know how I would feel if I'm not there what are they doing other than being reptiles? Like
I feel
I'm
like
gonna be all confused, and then like if I come in here, because this is actually a pop up room. Like I turned my dining room into a reptile room,
oh,
and like I threw up drywall and everything, so there's like an extra room, and then my room is a reptile room, and then there's like a bed in the corner, like. So that's where we keep most of our big reptiles, like all the big snakes and stuff, are all in our room. So like our Burmese, our retics. We actually only have one Burmese left in here, and that's in this top cage. Actually, as I'm talking about her, she's up there, and that's actually one of our famous girls. I turn her pink, and people lose their minds.
I saw that video.
You have no idea how many people believe that that was a real snake, like real color. Like I actually had one dude message me. He's like, "I will give you 7,000 right now,"
Oh my gosh.
and I was like, "I'll take that
Oh,
7,000, but I
so
feel you're going to be
disappointed.
very disappointed when you open that box." um, so I took it up a lot of your time already, which I really appreciate you coming on. So I only have one more question for you, and is, how can my followers find you?
Instagram is our biggest thing. We do have a Facebook, but at the same time, I like rarely post on there. I need to be better at that. It's just Instagram is more accessible for me, and we have all of our links on there as well as like Morph Market. I don't plan on really ever having a website. I did that when I had a fish keeping business, and that was just too much for me to take care of.
There was a fish keeping business. I missed all of that. What?
Yeah, that was my business before this.
Oh, okay. So what now I'm curious. Now I just have to ask about it. You now brought it up. Now I got to know.
So
What did you keep fish wise?
I I'd been doing this for 4 years, the fish keeping business part, but didn't put like a business name on it until like about 2 years in.
Okay.
At that time, we named it Rio Aqua. Um,
Awesome name.
our like beta fish that was just like one of our logos, pretty much, or like our mascot. Our mascot. His name was Rio, so kind of took it from there. Um, but we did a lot, all for the most part freshwater. So we had a bunch of different types of betta fish, plecos, guppies, like anything that was like rare or like uncommon. We had to be breeding it. And so we actually shipped out to even overseas as well with
Nice.
the fish. But yeah, it's a lot different shipping fish than it is.
It is. I used to do a little bit with fish, and we used to breed the red-tailed catfish, the tiger shovel nose. We got
On space for that.
Yeah, we used to do that a lot. Sorry, there's an ambulance that drove by, and I feel my dogs don't understand that they're not helping when they howl and bark at the thing, but they feel accomplished. I don't understand. Um, I'll share some red phantoms that I produced. Some awesome. Well, damn, they are really going at it this time. Are you guys able to hear that, or is it actually pretty loud? Jesus. Sorry about that. Hold on. I'm just gonna keep going through it because they're not gonna stop. Jesus.
It's not that loud. It's not bad.
God.
I
I wonder if I'm the only person that deals with that, or if it's just because I have that many dogs.
We have three, but no, it's like that.
You know what's nuts is my one dog, who's not part of this pack out here because she's like really really dominant. So she has a completely other side of the house. She guards my room. She's got like her own dog run leading out of my room and everything. And she does not care when ambulance drive by. She just looks at them. She doesn't bark, she doesn't growl, she doesn't howl, nothing. But these ones, oh my god.
We have a husky over here, and there is no way.
Oh, there you go. You got a husky, so you know my pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. We used to have a husky. We actually got him as a rescue. He was older, and that dude could howl.
They're big talkers.
It was funny because I encouraged it though. I used to sit out there with them and howl with them for a while. It was hilarious.
Problem.
I remember my neighbor called me. He's like, I'm not even telling you to shut there. Tell the dog to shut up. Can you shut up? It's like 3 a.m. and I'm howling with him.
That's
But no, this is awesome. I appreciate you jumping on. I learned a little bit about cresteds. I'm still trying to get into the whole morphs on the whole cresteds.
yeah, definitely got to talk to a few more crested people. That'd be cool.
That's what I'm trying to get people on. I'm trying to get MG Geckos, a few other people, and then we're also branching out of just reptiles. I'm wanting to bring the exotic animal keepers all together, so we actually have like a falconer that'll be coming on, some gecko breeders. We had a fish keeper come on just a little bit ago, and now we have two because you were here too. So and then we also have one in the works that we're trying to get on, and they breed stingrays and some other stuff. And we've got a big cat keeper that's talking about coming on in January. So yeah, so we're trying to bring different animal keepers on, so that way we can kind of combine the communities a little bit. And especially since with everything going on, it's not just reptiles they're going after. They're going after, fish. They're going after birds, everything like that. So we're trying to bring everybody together because USARK still helps ban all that. And I know there's a couple mods in the chat. If you guys can deal with the random bot that popped in, appreciate it.
And that's because you're giving a.
Sorry, in the chat there's.
Huh?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, in the chat you get those random bots.
I was saying that's great too because you're giving a platform for people like just random gecko keepers to get more into other exotic animals. So that's really cool because they can watch your videos or lives and learn more about different types of animals.
That's what we're trying to do, is trying to just expand everything and try to get everybody all together. And I think it'd be pretty cool and more of an educational thing for multiple keepers to learn different things about different species. I think it'd be pretty awesome. But I won't take up any more of your time. Let me give a quick shout out to the sponsors that keep this channel running one more time, because they help keep everything going. W guys, make sure to check them out. Links are in the bio. They have some awesome flavored drinks. It's not pre-workout or anything like that. It's just like a mix that they make that's less sugar than soda. It keeps you guys energized and it helps keep you focused. It's kind of like coffee, but more of an energy drink than anything else without all the sugars. As well as Fries Critters, guys. Make sure to check them out on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Huge supporter, always putting out positivity. Definitely check him out on Instagram, and he is trying to start a Twitch, so I do want to push for that and try to help him out with his goal over there on Twitch. So if you guys have a Twitch, make sure to check out Fries Critters. As well as Zilla Footwear, with Christmas right around the corner, guys. Awesome shoes that they have over there. Make sure to check them out. They do custom orders as well. So if you want to get your logo, or if you know somebody that you think they would love their logo and one of their pretty animals on there, you can do a couple different reptiles. Definitely just message them through either Instagram or Facebook. Let them know Darian from Rodriguez Reptiles sent you over there, and they'll take care of you guys. Sorry, my son's getting angry. But you have anything else for anybody in the chat?
I really appreciate everybody who came out to watch the live and support me tonight. So that means a lot.
That's awesome. Well, we're definitely going to have to get you on again later. We do a lot of hangout lives and stuff, so we'll have to get you on for one of those. I know you said you're not big in doing lives and everything, so I think it'd be awesome to kind of bring you over to YouTube.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Right on. Well, you guys have an awesome night. Thanks again for jumping on, and I'll catch you all on the next one.
Bye.